Maya Dawson, a 29-year-old woman working the afternoon shift at a small diner in Riverton, leaned over the counter to greet her next customer. "Here's your order, sir. Enjoy your meal," she said, forcing a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. The man, glued to his phone, barely acknowledged her as he grabbed his takeout bag. Maya wasn't feeling particularly cheerful today. Not long ago, she had worked as a data analyst at a promising tech company, but after an unexpected layoff, she found herself in this temporary job just to keep the lights on. The diner wasn't where her heart lay. Her passion was numbers, coding, and algorithms, not flipping burgers and serving coffee. But life wasn't always fair, and she was doing her best to get by. As she wiped down the counter, her thoughts drifted to the looming deadline for her overdue rent. Her landlord had already given her a strict 3-day notice. If she couldn't come up with the money, she'd soon be out on the streets. The weight of that reality pressed heavily on her chest. Her gloomy thoughts were interrupted by the soft jingling of the door as a young girl walked in. The child, no older than 8, approached the counter and placed a single quarter on it. Maya looked down to see the girl, her curly hair tangled and her clothes slightly tattered, as if she had been wearing the same outfit for days. "Hey there, sweetie," Maya said with genuine warmth, kneeling to the girl's level. "What can I get you with that?" she asked, knowing the quarter wouldn't buy anything substantial. The girl blinked up at her, eyes bright with hope. "Can I get something to eat, please?" she asked, her voice a whisper. Maya's heart clenched. She recognized the look in the girl's eyes. It was the same look she had as a child, during the tough times when her mother struggled to put food on the table. Without a second thought, Maya made a decision. "Of course, darling," Maya said softly. "I've got just the thing for you." She quickly put together a small meal, fried chicken, fries, and a bottle of water, and slid it across the counter to the girl. The child's face lit up with pure joy. "Thank you, miss. You're so nice," the girl beamed, clutching the meal to her chest as if it were a treasure. Maya smiled back, her heart swelling with warmth. But her moment of happiness was short-lived. From the corner of her eye, she saw her manager, Mr. Grayson, walking towards her with a scowl on his face. "Did you just give that food away for free?" he demanded, his voice low but filled with anger. Maya's heart sank. The girl was hungry," she stammered. "I couldn't just let her leave empty-handed." Mr. Grayson crossed his arms. "You know the rules, Maya. No freebies. We're not running a charity here." "Please, sir," Maya pleaded. "You can deduct it from my paycheck if you need to." I just couldn't turn her away. But Mr. Grayson shook his head. "You've already taken an advance on your pay, remember? For your mother's medical bills." His tone grew colder. "I'm sorry, Maya, but you're fired." The words hit her like a punch to the gut. Fired. For trying to do the right thing. Maya's vision blurred with tears as she tried to process the situation. She was about to lose everything. Her job, her home, and possibly her future. She gathered her things and left the diner, feeling utterly defeated. As she walked back to her tiny apartment, the reality of her situation hit her harder with every step. She had just hours left before her landlord would come knocking, and now, with no job, there was no way she could pay the rent. Just as she reached her front door, there was a knock. Maya's stomach churned, assuming it was her landlord ready to evict her. But when she opened the door, she found herself face to face with a man she recognized from the diner. A regular customer who often sat quietly in the corner during breakfast. "Hi," the man said with a gentle smile. "I'm Adrian Miller. Do you have a moment?" Maya blinked in confusion but nodded, stepping aside to let him in. Adrian held out his hand, and she shook it hesitantly. "I want to thank you," he said, his voice filled with emotion. "You helped my daughter today." Maya's eyes widened. "Your daughter?" she asked, struggling to make the connection. "The little girl at the diner. The one you gave the meal to." "That's my daughter, Lily." Maya's heart skipped a beat. She hadn't realized the girl was related to one of her customers. Adrian continued, his voice soft but earnest. "I'm a single father, and things have been tough lately. After my wife passed away, I've been working non-stop, and, well, I didn't notice how much Lily was struggling. She ran away from home this morning after we had an argument. I was terrified I'd lost her, but when I saw her at the diner, safe and cared for, I can't thank you enough." Maya felt a surge of emotion. She had been fired for showing kindness, But here was a man thanking her for the very same act. "But there's more," Adrian said, reaching into his pocket. "I own a software company, Aurora Technologies. I heard from the diner staff that you used to work in tech, and I happen to have an open position. If you're interested, I'd love for you to join our team." Maya stared at him, her mind racing. A job? At a tech company? After everything that had happened, this seemed too good to be true. "I don't know what to say," she whispered, tears welling up in her eyes. Adrian smiled warmly. "Say yes." Before she could respond, there was another knock at the door. Maya opened it to find Lily standing there, holding a small bouquet of wildflowers she had picked on the way. "These are for you," Lily said shyly, handing the flowers to Maya. Maya knelt down and hugged the little girl tightly. "Thank you, sweetheart." As she stood up, her heart felt lighter than it had in months. Despite the challenges she'd faced, kindness had found its way back to her, opening doors she never expected. Sometimes, the most unexpected acts of compassion can change everything.